If you are not the voice inside your head, then who is listening? We wake up, and the noise begins, a relentless stream of judgments, worries, memories of yesterday, fears for tomorrow. We call this thinking. We call this me. But have you ever noticed that you cannot stop it? If these thoughts are truly yours, why can't you turn them off? If you are the master of this house, why is the servant shouting in every room? This is the existential wound, the deep, quiet, exhaustion of identifying with a storm that never ends. We spend our entire lives defending a story. We shape how we look. We curate what we say, all to protect an image that exists only in the mind. The silence is vast, but we are afraid of it. We fear that if we stop thinking, we will cease to exist. We chase recognition. We chase success. We chase approval. But who is doing the chasing? Most people never stop to ask. They live in a shadow they mistake for themselves. That voice in the mind that says, "You must be remembered. You are not enough yet." The ego is not your true self. It is a shape made out of fear and desire. It is a survival mask, shaped by memory, expectation, and emotion, and a safe, and a safe. Underneath it all, we are exhausted, not because we are weak, but because we are trying to hold up something that isn't real. Think about the time you have spent building a reputation, collecting things, defending your opinions, and then the moment shifts, the reputation changes, the things disappear, and the pain is agonizing. The problem is not time running out. The deeper question is, what are we doing with the time we have? If today were your last day, what would still feel unfinished? We are trapped in a fantasy of permanence. We believe we are solid. We believe we are the thinkers of our thoughts. But the Buddha saw this clearly. He saw that the self we defend is just a combination of 5 elements, and none of them are you. The illusion of reality. The Buddha named this truth Anicca, the law of impermanence. Everything changes, nothing remains. From the tiniest dust particle to the largest star, from a fleeting thought to a lifelong friendship, all conditioned things are impermanent. To understand why you are not your thoughts, you must look at the 5 aggregates. These are the layers, the masks we mistake for a soul. First, there is form. This is the body. It is changing every moment. It is not a solid object. It is a biological process. 2. Second, there is feeling. It shifts with each experience. It is a wave of pleasant or unpleasant energy. Third, there is perception. The mind labels. It judges. It decides what is good or bad. Fourth, are mental formations. These are your habits, your reactions, the internal wiring that shapes how you respond to the world. And fifth is consciousness. It simply notices. It is always moving. It is never fixed. The Buddha said, form is impermanent, feeling is impermanent, perception is impermanent, mental formations are impermanent, consciousness is impermanent. What is impermanent is suffering. What is suffering is non-self. And what is non-self is not mine. This is the great Zen breakthrough. If the thoughts are rising and falling, and you are the one noticing them, then you cannot be them. The eye cannot see itself. The tooth cannot bite itself. The thinker is just another thought. Think of a river. The water is always changing. You cannot step into the same river twice, because the water has moved, and so have you. The mind is the same. It is a stream of habits, fed by wanting and fear. The ego is just an arrangement of these unstable parts. It has no core, no center. It is not an eternal soul. It is a process. When you see this, everything changes. You no longer have to protect the story. You can let go of the weight you have been carrying. You can, finally, rest. The silence is where freedom begins. The science of consciousness. For centuries, the mystery of the mind belonged to the temple, but today it belongs to the laboratory. Science is finally catching up to the silence. Modern neuroscience faces what we call the hard problem. We can map the brain. We can track every chemical signal. But we cannot find the you. There is no CEO at the center of the skull. There is just a symphony with no conductor. Quantum physics echoes this ancient wisdom. At the smallest level, matter is not solid. It is a field of probability. The universe is not a collection of objects. It is a collection of events. It is a dance of energy, arising and passing away. Buddhism suggests that consciousness is not inside the brain. It suggests that the brain exists within consciousness. Just as a radio receives a signal, the brain receives the mind stream. Consider the phenomenon of terminal lucidity. Patients with advanced brain damage suddenly becoming clear and articulate moments before death. How can the music play? If the instrument is broken, it suggests that memory and awareness are more vast than the flesh. The shadow we mistake for ourselves is what Carl Jung called the ego. It is a survival mask, a mental construct built to navigate the world. But psychology and Zen agree. The mask is not the face. The science is clear. Your thoughts are biological events. They are neurochemical ripples. But the one noticing the ripples remains untouched. The awareness is the 0-point field. It is the space where the thoughts appear. To identify with your thoughts is to identify with the clouds and forget the sky. Deep dive, the guest house. Think of your mind as a guest house. Each thought is a traveler, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. You are the host, but you are not the guests. If a thought of anger arrives, we usually say, "I am angry." We merge with the visitor. We give them the keys to the house. But the Buddha teaches a different way of speaking. There is anger. This shift is the beginning of healing. When you observe the thought, you create distance. The observer cannot be the observed. Imagine holding a fistful of sand. You feel the grains. You label them mine. But open your hand, and the sand merges back into the earth. Where did the fistful go? It was just a temporary arrangement. Your sense of I is that fistful of sand, a collection of habits, a story you tell yourself. But the story is not the book. The river flows, but the riverbed remains. Your thoughts are the water. Your awareness is the bed. The Buddha asked, "If you are not your thoughts, then who is thinking them?" The answer is not a name. It is not a person. The thoughts are thinking themselves. They arise from conditions. They arise from memory, from hunger, from fear. They are part of the beginningless flow of the universe. The silence is the answer. You are the stillness in which the world appears. Deep dive, the watcher on the bank. Think of a river. The water is always changing. The water you see now is not the water that was there a moment ago. Yet, it is still the same river. Your mind is that river. and your thoughts are the ever-changing water. We usually jump into the current. We let the cold water of fear or the hot current of anger carry us away. We say, "I am drowning." But Buddhism asks you to stay on the bank, to become the observer, the one who notices the flow without being swept away by it. The observer is not a thing. It is a process of noticing. It is the watcher who cannot be found, because the eye cannot see itself. The light cannot shine upon itself. When you sit in silence, you realize that thoughts arise on their own. You do not think them. They appear, they linger, they dissolve, like clouds in a vast blue sky. If you were the cloud, you would disappear when the weather changed. But you are the sky. The sky is not the weather. The sky is the space in which the weather happens. The ego is just a shadow we mistake for ourselves. It is a voice in the mind, a mental image we have built. We spend our lives defending this image. But underneath it all, we are exhausted. The silence is where the shadow ends and where the observer begins. Deep dive, the anatomy of the ego. The Buddha taught that what we call self is just a combination of 5 elements. These are the 5 aggregates. First is form, the body. It is changing every second. It is a flow of biological energy. It is not a fixed thing. Second is feeling. It shifts with each experience, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. It is like the wind through the trees. It arrives and it leaves. Third is perception. The mind labels. It judges. It says, "This is good. This is mine." But the labels are not the reality. Fourth are mental formations. These are your habits, your reactions, the survival masks you have worn for years. They are the ego's way of proving it exists. And fifth is consciousness, the quality of simply noticing. It moves. It is never fixed. The ego is just an arrangement of these unstable parts. It has no core, no lasting identity. It is not a soul. It is a process. The fear of being no one is what keeps the ego alive. But when you see that the ego never truly existed, the fear dissolves. You are not the mask. You are the one who has been looking through it. The silence is vast, and you are finally free to rest. The no-self paradox. Imagine the ship of Theseus. Over years of travel, every plank is replaced, every nail, every rope. Is it still the same ship? Buddhism offers a similar riddle for the soul. You use one candle to light another. The flame on the second is not the first, but it is not different either. There is a connection, a causal flow. The no-self paradox is the door to your freedom. If there is no permanent you, then who is thinking these thoughts? The truth is that the thoughts are thinking themselves. They arise from conditions, from memory, from hunger. There is a story, but there is no author. There is a song, but there is no singer. We mistake the collection for a core. We mistake the fistful of sand for a solid object. The I is a label, a necessary tool for navigating the world, but it is not the reality. When you realize this, the struggle ends. You stop protecting a self that was never there. The awareness is the space. It is the vastness in which the paradox lives. You are not the boat. You are the water. The silence is where the me disappears and the life begins. Practical application. How do we find peace in this modern chaos? You do not need a monastery. You do not need to leave your life behind. It is about how you relate to your breath, how you relate to your coffee, how you relate to the noise. The Noble Eightfold Path is your compass. It is not a list of rules. It is a way of being. Start with right speech. Pause before you speak. Ask, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? This pause is where the ego dies. Here's T. Practice right mindfulness. Come back again and again to the present moment, whether you are washing dishes or walking to work. Be there. Just notice, without judgment. Letting go is not loss. It is freedom. You don't become empty. You become spacious. The silence is your sanctuary. It is the end of clinging and the beginning of real freedom. Live with care. Don't wait. Watch your mind. Soften your heart. The goal is not to live forever. The goal is to live wisely, fully, and free. So, we return to the beginning. If you are not the thoughts, and you are not the story, then who are you? You are the silence. You are the space. You are the awareness in which the entire universe arises and passes away. The goal was never to stop the thinking. The goal was to stop believing it, to realize that you are the sky, not the clouds. When you stop living to protect an ego, something else appears. Stillness, honesty, kindness. You don't become perfect, but you stop being controlled by fear. Life is short, but it is long enough to wake up. Each breath is a chance to return. Each moment is a doorway to wisdom. At Soul Whispers, we believe that finding stillness in a loud world is the greatest rebellion. Our mission is to help you decode the psyche and heal the soul. If this whisper resonated with you, please subscribe. Join our community of fellow travelers. Share this with someone who is currently lost in the storm of their own mind. Leave a comment below. What is the one thought you are ready to let go of today? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being. Stay in the silence.